it's Hendawg. This is all on a beat, on a beat, on a beat, beat. Every word that I say on a motherfucking beat by the boy, whatever his name is.
You gotta pay your dues. And now I'm saying, oh, I pay those dues. Click and do and watch our ads. Click and do and watch our ads. Click and do and watch our ads. Click and do and watch our ads.
With all that, I still didn't fix my mic. Ladies and gentlemen, Black Zeus, the podcast, season 3, episode 13. Thank you for coming back. We are here every week, Wednesdays, as usual, on YouTube. You know, I have a guest. I told you I'd bring him into the show this week. And we did a podcast swap, I guess. I just did yours yesterday.
That's
Ladies
what they call it.
First time on the show?
Yeah, buddy.
First time?
Long overdue.
No.
First time you've offered. I've been asking.
You've been on the audio.
I've been asking. No, I did it back when you did with Patrick, bro. Patrick days.
Yeah, so you're not new to the podcast. You had a nickname back in the day. This is Abbas Wahab, ladies and gentlemen.
What it is?
Toronto comedian, hustler extraordinaire, Abbas Wahab.
I'm Black Medusa. You know?
You're an idiot, bro. You're an idiot. You know
Still Greeks.
You know how many comics think they're original when they bring?
They do another one
after I finish a set. It's like, that was Black Zeus, and I'm like, yeah, White Medusa or fucking whatever.
And I'm the least black.
At this point,
Zeus.
I'm just waiting for a creative one to come back around. It was creative like the first 2-3 times I heard it, but now it's just like, come on, man. It's like an obvious one, you know?
Respect, I like it. Now, like you said, you got like lore to your name. The young kids are coming up like, you're a legend. Yo, you're alive? Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? We thought you were just legendary.
Yeah, I didn't say this on my podcast. So if you're wondering what the hell he's talking about, I was on his show, the Immigrant Section.
Yeah, don't say like you don't know it, bro.
The Immigrant Section.
Like you're like, what is it that?
His acclaimed
you know
podcast,
what it
the
is.
Immigrant Section.
The Immigrant Section. Oh. Deport, cancel visa. That's what our thing is. Cancel the visa.
Did I ever ask you how you came up with that concept for the Immigrant Section? Like,
I didn't even really come up with it. I just named it what the section in the high school that all the immigrants hung out.
I did ask you because I do rember the story.
Yeah. That's just what they called that section.
Immigrant section. We had a smoker section, there was like halls. Everything was named a hall. Like, okay, if the library's in this hall, it's the library wing. It's a gym wing.
Oh, we didn't have wings. You were like in these
halls,
big
like library hall, gym hall, tech hall.
You could get killed in the hood using a word like wing.
Yo, you're.
I was in the wing. Yo, get him.
I love
get him.
Did this team really work on you like this,
bro?
You were asleep 5 minutes ago. I swear to God.
Then the lights came on. I was like,
yeah, is this like a comedy?
My mom was like, showtime, baby.
Is this more comedy or actor? Like the lights come on and you're like, okay, I'm just fucking ready to go.
You know it's comedy. Why are you putting me down like that? You know what it is. You know I've been out here getting these acting paychecks because I can get them, but it's all about comedy. And it's always been about comedy.
That's not what I was asking you. I'm asking you specifically what muscle you're flexing right now. I know.
Oh, definitely the actor stuff.
Yeah, that's such a sensitive ass thing. Yo, you testing me on this right
that's
now?
That's a constant thing.
Are you questioning how
what
fucking
did you
serious
do
I am about
first?
this, bro?
What did you do first? I get that constantly. That's the worst.
Did you ever have like people try and make you feel like you're not a comic?
Yeah, especially when you act. That's the whole point I'm saying right now.
Oh, because you act, you've had
they're like, what did you do first?
Are you an actor? Or
as if you like your acting hit a wall and you got into comedy.
No, I was just asking.
People love that
what muscle
shit.
you were tapping into right there.
Both, bro. It's all one. You know, it's all one shit, baby.
It's one, but it's not.
You can quote that. Put that on a shirt. You're like, that's not how the show works. You're looking at the wrong camera, Playboy.
It's not, first of all, you have more followers than me, so
you didn't even equip me to succeed, bro.
You're bringing your audience to my show at this.
Yo, welcome. We take it over. I just ripped the curtains down. We're putting yellow up right now, bro.
Yeah, we were talking about it on your podcast, but like you're 6 years in. How do you feel 6 years in? How do you feel about where you are in the game?
To be honest, exactly where I would have loved to be if you told me like 3 years ago. Like the stuff that I wanted, all I wanted was to be able to get on stage on weekends consistently. And I'm not exactly there yet, but I'm way closer than I was 3 years ago. So it's like, if you told me, what would you be like in 6 years? I'd be like having like 2 shows a night, almost all the weekends. That's literally what it comes down to. And I don't yet. So like yesterday, I was like, scrounging, literally showing up to shows and be like, you got room for a guest spot? Like a crackhead?
Yeah.
Like a crackhead? You got room for a guest spot? No, bro. And the way they look at you too, as if like they don't have change for you. They're like, no, sorry, we already gave them.
It's actually a really good analogy.
They're
for
like,
it,
fuck.
Too. It's like homeless people begging
You're just
for change.
scratching.
And like people that
You play it off like you're cool, and you probably bought a beer.
So you got to go to the
play it
shows
off
where
like
know
you're
people
there.
Believe in God because you could just play on that.
The whole thing, But I feel good. I feel good about 6 years.
Excellent. That's how long did it take until you felt not necessarily funny, because you got to feel funny to even start, but like stage funny. When you started feeling like you were turning a corner and like putting your name on a ticket was something that you didn't feel bad about.
Probably. I mean, if you do it almost every night. Think about this. Anything you do, whether it's like a carpenter, any plumbing, whatever, it's like if you do it every day, don't you feel like, and it's something worth watching, at the end of the year, you got something to show people. I did it every day, right?
But this is what I'm asking you. When did you feel like you were worth watching? Because when a comic starts out, you're not worth watching. I'm sorry. You're just
I
not.
know,
You
but
have to,
still.
You have to develop. You have to go.
Of course.
Like, you have to develop something.
But what is worth? Because a lot of people.
Well, I mean, if you
there
can get
is
people
some.
you can market yourself, obviously, and like have people come to your shows and shit.
Come out to the tour, by the way. I don't know when this goes live, but the Immigrant Section is touring. Come out, get some crazy laughs.
Give me a whole section to talk about this shit, nigga.
There's wings. There's a wing deal. By the way, there's a wing deal.
Did you be plugging your entire time?
He's like, wrong camera, nigga. I told you.
Every 5 minutes is gonna be like, yo, my tour, by the way. My tour, by the way. No, but like for me, 3.5 years until I felt like, I don't feel like shit asking people to come out. And it's funny because you burn all those bridges at the beginning of your career when you're not really funny.
Yeah.
You tell all your friends to come out to your shows
You're
and all
right.
that shit, but you suck. So then they're like, they don't want to come out anymore. Like they want to support you, but you used it all up. Used up all the good support years when you sucked. And then like by the time you have to like go through another period of like you're getting good to the point where like you're getting reposted or other people are talking about you or whatever, you know what I mean? And then people see that as like, yo, let me come to a show and da-da-da. It's not like, at least that's how it was for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like if you do it especially for people who got into it older that kind of know their voice and who they are as a human a little bit more, you can have a showable thing for people in less time. You just can sometimes, you know what I mean? In my case, I didn't start actually having a paid show for like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
I only had open mics up until that point. I ran open mics, just come, the list goes to like 25 and fucking just, if there's audience, there's audience.
Yeah.
It's not about making money.
As soon as a piece of paper hits the bar counter, like 80 comics rush the...
Once upon a time, everyone's like, bro, if you can't, like back in the day when we couldn't get any stage time, it'd be like, bro, do an open mic. And then you get all the time between the acts. Like this is that logic.
Yeah, I hate that.
Back in the day logic, right?
That's not back in the day. I mean, things
But
have
now you
changed.
get stage, you have stage opportunities at
Things have
shows.
changed, but that's because the world, like literally everybody realizes like, yo, we got to stick together, I think.
Well, no, there's 1 year in guys who can't get shows like you can because they're not as good as you. So they have to get the open mic. I'm saying that's how the ecosystem works. The young guys that can't get any stage time have to create an open mic. So that's all we had 4 years. And that's where, we sharpened our shit.
I think there's more paid shows than ever.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
I think we were talking about this on your
100%. It's almost all the shows died. And when they resurrected, it's hard to be like,
something.
Hey, by the way, we charge for tickets, but don't pay you. We're like, wait, that doesn't make any sense anymore.
But even for a newer comic can get on, like there's more opportunities for a newer comic to even get some cash. Whereas before it would be like chicken wings or like beer or something. You know what I mean?
That type of stuff is still happening. But I'm saying
still is. I'm not saying it's gone.
I'm saying there was a lot of shows that you didn't even get a beer ticket or food. It was just, the deal. This is a spot. Yeah, don't ask questions. If you want stage time, you're fourth.
Hours.
No, I'm saying this is a book show where there's audience, but there's 8 or 9 or 10 comics. Oh, okay. We're all doing sevens. Nobody is paid, but the ticket, or they have a bar deal or something like that. We don't get a drink ticket, but this is maybe one set of the night. But then eventually it comes a time where you're like, yo, fuck you. You're paying people, or people are paying you to come in. And we're doing a trade. Like back then we were so fucking desperate
Yeah.
and starving. We're like, yeah. But now it's like I realize we have a trade that we're like skilled labor almost in a way, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna do this shit for free. What are you doing? Especially when people are paying you to see comedy.
Yeah.
How are you gonna look me in the eye and book me or even interact with me when you're not gonna give me some of what they paid you? Like, how do you? The fact that existed at some point is just shocking too. And now so many comics are like, fuck that shit, bro. I have Eventbrite. People watch me on Instagram. They'll come see me. I'll book my funny people.
I was starting to talk about on your show, but like, I thought about it a little bit more, like the progression of things, man. I think technology has finally fully penetrated. You know what I mean? The generation that really understands how to sell yourself online is fully immersed in the world of entertainment now. You know what I mean? So that whole dynamic, whereas like, remember for rappers, like the SoundCloud rapper, when that was first a thing, like how big of an idea that was, like, holy fuck, bro, fuck the system. Like it's that has penetrated comedy fully now. And like, I think everybody realizes like, yo, I don't need to go through any club system or any whatever. If I build my own audience.
Yeah, that's a double-edged sword though. It's like, if you can go straight to the audience, but it's almost it's almost like a straight to DVD movie that could have been great. It's like, you need to be tested in the stadium of everything else.
I believe that also.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to be at Yuck Yucks, or I want to be at the improvs, or I want to be in those, killing where everybody else kills.
There's been times,
you know what I mean?
So
it's not like I'm going straight to my people with my sock, because I did, what's that sock puppet, that old Canadian legend? That sock guy?
Oh, Ed the Sock.
Bro, I opened for him years ago.
I was on his show.
Yeah, bro. He gets people out, they watch a presentation, a PowerPoint, some videos and shit. Fuck that, bro. I mean, you gotta eat how you eat. You gotta eat how you eat. I get that. But also, like, imagine paying for that show. I'd be like, wow. That's one way to spend the night. Fuck that, though.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Things have progressed in such a way. You're right, it is a double-edged sword. But throughout the years, I've definitely seen people. I think this is where it gets dangerous for me. We're living in a time where like everything is content based. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really art based anymore. I've been talking about this on my podcast forever, bro. I have a war on the word content. I fucking hate the idea of like taking what we do that is art. I mean, it devalues what we do. It's no less the hours that you put into a joke, bro, is no less than the hours a painter puts in on a canvas. Like, why is stage like plays and stuff, that's considered art? That's acting. Why is acting considered art, but like a lot of people still don't consider stand-up art? You know what I mean? The way the approach has shifted now, I think where newer comics come into the game and they realize is like, yo, you can go directly to your market. Like, a lot of people already come in with a social media like following and stuff, you know what I mean? They just go right to a market, a corner, and you miss the entire breadth of comedy, bro. Like, you just go right into, which is all right if
like,
that's what you want to do.
If you can quickly access a niche that pays all of your bills, that's amazing from like a human perspective. I would love that. If right now already in 6 years I had garnered all the fans I needed to just be like buying a house and having a car and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, actually like getting on to a good level of like financial stability in my 30s.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking sick, but that's not what's going to happen, you know what I mean?
Not for you specifically. I mean, I've seen it happen.
I just lost where I was going to go, to be honest.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. You know what's funny? Is, you know why that took me so long to get out? Nigga, that took me so long to get out because I was like, losing
I wanted to.
I held my shit together, though.
I wanted to, bro.
That's so funny.
Fuck. I don't even remember what I was saying.
No, through the years, I've definitely seen comics come in and then be upset at the system, you know what I mean? Like, having to go to shows, having to introduce yourself, having to... essentially like
Did you hear that old Bill Burr like story? That shit like stuck to me. Even I heard it first year in. He goes like he's at the cellar. He just did some time. He's watching people like kiss ass.
Yeah.
And he tells another comic, I forget who, he goes, see that? Look at that shit. I was never good at
Never
that shit.
gonna do that.
And he
Or
he
never
goes,
good at it.
I'm never good at this shit. He goes, well, get good. And he's like, that shit stuck with him. He's like, get good. This is your business you're affecting. Like, the fuck are you doing? Wake up. It's not like, man, I don't get that stuff. Another guy's like, yeah, man, fuck that stuff. The other guy's like, well, get it, dude.
yeah, but
Like, you need to do this other part. Even though we don't like it, it fucking sucks. It's a necessary evil.
that's how I feel. Because I feel like you're also missing, like I said earlier, like the entire breadth of comedy. You're jumping right into, but again, not everybody really is about comedy.
Oh, yeah, the niche thing.
Some
That's how
people
we
are
got
just
there.
about filling a niche, and like they have like their corner that they want to talk to only. It's like, nigga, I'm an artist, bro. I want to talk to as many people that feel like they relate to what I'm talking about. And I talk about, like, we all say, like, we talk about life and all this, trying to be relatable and all that shit. But, like, I am that type of comic. I'm not, like, a dirty... I'm obviously, you know my act. I swear I'm disgusting.
Yeah, do you.
But it's, like, the range of life, essentially, is what I try and capture. And there's no audience for that. Like, in my mind, there is no like demographic. I swear to you, bro, I've had grandmas like fucking talk to me after a show, and then like young people.
Yeah, because you're talking just from life.
Exactly.
Life experience, your life experience.
So to me, that wouldn't work. Like, to me, I would have to go through. I had to go through the lumps.
But that makes for a stronger base. That makes for a foundation that had more time to cure. That builds you up for more for success. So let's say there was like 200 Black Zeus diehards that appeared out of nowhere 3 years into you doing comedy in Toronto, and you did a show once a month, and they would come and it would give you enough money to just live your life normally. Within a couple of years, you'd be like, you're not going to be nearly as good as the person that didn't have that audience. That person that had to jump here, jump here. Like, you keep jumping in front of different people just to where the stage time is, and early on, you got to go find it. So then you. By a function of that, you meet so many different people versus your echo chamber that's coming to see you. So then
not everybody, but that's
you
what
become a better comedian.
Wants that,
but
not everybody wants
that person gets their bills paid. So
correct.
Tell yourself like there's no right answer. There's no right answer.
What's funny is that there's so many comics that see this. Like there's a lot of jealousy and shade that gets thrown at people that come in and at a relatively like younger, career, just all of a sudden start filling up rooms and selling out shows and all this shit. But they get jealous and shit, but not realizing it's like, well, first of all, look, they're doing a specifically targeted thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
for years.
Comics either get jealous because they don't get on that show
for years.
or whatever, or because they're making money and like you've been doing it for a while and you're not. It's like, well, nigga, like, I don't know, man. I also think a lot of people just jump in blind and there's not enough information or knowledge given by the OGs. You know what I mean? You have to really seek that out, and not everybody gives it up. So
shout out to some of the people out there in Toronto, comedians. My boy Keith Pedro. Shout out to that
Mike
guy.
Rita, bro. This is
all these
2 shows in a row that we're shouting these niggas out, bro. I love. Always,
they just got
always.
Yeah, you're welcome for the 6 new followers. Boys
was one of the first to just like
Keith is the boy
pull you
right
aside
there.
at a show and just give you some real information. It's like
it was actually it shocked me when he did it. I'm like, wow, that's the first time that's ever happened.
It's really
you know what I mean?
Really
and this happened 3 months ago or 4 months ago, where I was like, whoa, no one ever did that, bro. When comedy's the type of game, when I first got into it, you'd see like when everyone was trying to crush 2 or 3 open mics a night, like in San Francisco, everyone would leave. Everyone would, right after the turn at an open mic, would back out of the establishment.
Yeah.
And then they're all at the next open mic.
Of course.
I'm like, everybody's just getting here separately. This is a fucking lone wolf. Like, we're all just disappearing, but we're at the next thing 3 times in a row. Like, you know what I mean? Where they're just gone.
It's
you know,
carpool,
no
like,
loyalty, no carpool, just everyone gone.
Yeah.
And they're all at the next thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Nobody, exactly. I'm like, this is a good, I feel like this is what the world really is.
That's
you
why,
know what I mean?
The ultimate goal is to just get good enough to escape that shit, bro. You just get good enough.
Well, I haven't gone and been like jumping at the list in a while now. Like,
I think that whole mentality
it's come at a time where it's
anyways. Because right now, everything seems to, most of the stuff is booked. There's still some mics and stuff.
Exactly. It's online. I'm still
Correct.
going on open mics all the time, but I'm not saying like,
So the landscape is shifting, and I wonder
it used to
how
be like
long,
3 hours. Let's do it.
I wonder
You
how
gotta-
long until that stuff, if at all, it comes back. Because people are hungry for shit. So people are realizing, like, yo, if you're going to charge for tickets, you can't put on a mic. You have to put on a show.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, bro, how many independent comedy clubs are just
But
opened
pay
up?
what you can, though. It can get you like just passing the bucket can actually get people paid.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a couple
surprisingly,
shows that
if
I
you do
and-
a truly good show, the people will get paid.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it's still tough.
I know it is.
But
you want it up, yeah.
but again,
definitely.
like the quality of show I've noticed of just
the audience
because
wants
of-
it more.
The audience wants it more. So the demand, if you're doing a ticketed show, you can't really do a mic. So it's gonna be harder, I feel, for the newer comics right now coming up. Because how many mics are there really?
Not a lot right now. They got to
the
get out of
Toronto scene.
Toronto.
Yeah.
But yeah, they adapt, bro.
As an
if
artist,
they
how do you
really
feel
want to
like-
get on stage, they adapt. Like here I am in Hamilton tonight, and I'm just like, yo, let's find the stage here tonight before I drive an hour home. You know.
And then we're going to do the
And,
winning judge.
and
right
that's
after this.
you just got to be convenient, like around whatever you're doing.
How do you feel as an artist you've been surviving the pandemic? And let me, before you get into this, I feel watching you from the outside, especially for a comedian, bro, you have been one of the smartest at maneuvering through the pandemic.
I like it. Whenever people say maneuver, it sounds so like
Yeah,
scheming.
slick,
and
nigga.
like-
yeah,
like- I'm like
I'm trying to make you. I'm painting you
like
as a
all
nice
the
guy.
like all the Harry Potter niggas are like, oh, he's Slytherin. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he's Slytherin for sure, bro. This boy is Slytherin.
Shit.
Not even, bro. I just fucking felt like such a vacuum of that thing that I got on stage that I loved, that I was getting every night. And then TikTok was hot. And then TikTok, what it does is one of the first videos you do, it'll like make the algorithm favor the hell out of you. It'll make it blow up. So then you get like a crack addiction to it. I did like
Oh,
40
that's smart. That's what they do for everybody.
because
eh?
I saw like it. I chased it, and it took forever to get it back, just as a result of my body work to get it back to that. But in those months of doing it, I saw this motherfucker come on TikTok and this motherfucker come on TikTok. And I always know it's one of their first videos is gonna pop up. They're gonna, bro, I got 1 million on this one. And it's him brushing his teeth or some shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're hooked like I was for months. Like 3 videos a day. This is
Oh,
the
bro,
wave.
You were preaching TikTok.
Bro, I was
for a
getting
minute.
it up,
Yeah,
but
you were
I
preaching
was-
TikTok for a minute. You
I
still
was
feel
like-
the same way though? You still active on it?
Well, now I don't chase the trends at all. And like the numbers show it completely. If you chase the trends, you get the numbers. I don't. I just do it as an expression just to keep the muscle kind of like.
Are you?
I'm like, here's something funny.
Posting like your reels to.
Yeah, I'll make something on TikTok
Yeah, and then
2-3 times a week, and I'll post it on TikTok and Instagram and put it on my YouTube too.
Yeah,
It's like before I was like, I'm trying to make sure that every one of them at least hits 1 million. And most of them are not. So you're always set up for
see, that's that
disappointment.
content game, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
That
yeah.
takes you out of what actual art is.
Well, I got into it because stand-up was gone, and then
makes
wanting to
sense.
excel in it, wanting to just be like understand the ecosystem. I'm like, oh, this is how we do it. And then I got deep into it. And then, because all I wanted to do was hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. And when I hit 100,000 followers, I was like, okay, take a second here. Because I realized my mind immediately switched to we need 1 million. Immediately. Like it was at 98,000. When I saw the 100 like coming,
Yeah,
I was like, we need 1 million. And I was like, so once I hit 100, I just took like a month where I was just like thinking about this. Like,
How
this
you
is an
actually
endless
approach it.
chase.
Yeah,
I am writing 5 ideas a day for it. Like, to get that, I'm putting real hours in my day. It's like, I achieved my goal. Here's 100,000 followers, which doesn't feel like anything. It's not even true. That's when I realized TikTok is not even true, bro. I went live with 100,000 followers. Fucking 18 niggas were on there, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see,
18?
yeah, see, so that's what a lot
TikTok,
of people,
everyone
that's what a
follows
lot of people
9,000
say.
people. You never see the same person again.
Yeah.
They're never in your thing again. You follow everyone. Click, 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 click. You know what I mean?
It's a
Instagram, you
different-
follow
it's
a couple.
different- Yeah, it's a different way to.
So I had my
people
time doing
interact with the
TikTok.
app.
When my heart truly was in it, I was doing well. And then that just goes to
100,000
show you.
followers and 18 people in your life.
And I was like, I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, I want to get 100 grand followers. Like
Yeah,
it's
that
a
doesn't
like
add up,
it's
so it
a
doesn't add up there. You know?
yeah, exactly. I was already out of it. Like I was like I told you, the jump to 1 million. I was like, Fuck that, man. Because I've been trying to come up with witty ideas, and now to get to 1 million, I just gotta start dancing, bro. I gotta start tapping into straight up like I don't need to really be thinking of good ideas. I need to just, you know how like Gucci Man fills 6 out of 12 tracks on an album, and I'm a huge Gucci Man fan. He just hits you with those couple tracks where he's talking to you exactly how you want to hear it.
But then the rest of them.
But then the rest is bullshit because he learned how to churn them out, and there's value to that, but like as long as your album has a couple of those where you actually like,
you gotta also be in that mindset. Again, it's like I'm more of a throwback, man. I'm an artist. That's how I view all this shit. Like that'll always be my lens. I always feel like I always want to represent myself to the best of my ability, and like that only has come through putting the time in and fucking figuring shit out, and you know, like curating what I put out as opposed to just. But it is to a detriment, you know. It took me forever to just start putting stuff out. You can't be perfect, and that's a problem that a lot of people have, which I suffered with a lot.
It's so weird.
Did you ever like? Did you ever have that problem?
Perfectionism?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, constant.
But you still, if that is a problem that you had, you still managed to pump out videos regularly.
Well, if like I don't have a mantra, but if I had a mantra, the show must go on. You know what I mean? So it's like, even if I'm tweaking some shit and trying to figure out a new format, I'm still dropping because I'm like, the only way I know it's not going to work for sure is by stopping. I don't know how to make it work for sure, and I'm figuring that out in the meantime, but the way I know I'm going to fuck it up is by stopping. So let me just keep going. And as I try to figure out this shit, I've had the same approach with the podcast. I'm like coming up on 150 episodes. I'm like, I know it's a great podcast and it's such a saturated market. And it's like, how do you stick out from the noise? How does your signal pop from the noise? I don't know. But in the meantime, the one thing I know that'll fuck it up is by stopping it. So let me just keep doing my thing.
It's comedy, bro. You fucking make a name for yourself in the one way that most podcasters don't or can't. Like, you realize the most successful podcasts are usually like people that have already made a name for themselves outside of that podcast in some way, shape, or form.
Except for people that were the early adopters.
Correct.
Yeah.
But even then, who are the early adopters? Joe Rogan. This nigga's a comedian. Like,
but you know how many people were like, I didn't know Joe Rogan was a comedian.
That's
how many times have you heard that shit?
But what I'm saying is he was a comedian.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that they didn't know that he was. He was bringing all that to the podcast anyways.
Gotcha.
Whether or not they knew it.
Yeah, he was in his 30s.
Who's the podcaster that popped from a podcast? That's what I'm saying.
Who popped from a podcast?
From a podcast.
Man, I feel like some people.
It's like, yo, we just came up.
The
like,
fucking the two sluts that ended up becoming one slut on Barstools.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. On
great
YouTube?
Show.
On YouTube?
No, they used to have a show. Like, it was all about like two, party girls podcasts, like two white girls. Like,
I think These Is Ameros.
And then they fucking had a whole feud and falling out, and one does it by herself. It's all with Barstools, and the other one went, God knows where. But
those niggas,
they had a good podcast for a second.
I never listened to it. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah,
you know These Is Ameros.
People, everyone's watching. They know this was fucking. They're like the biggest podcast.
I'm off that shit. I don't give a fuck about that podcast. Yeah. Like, you're still trying to talk about these. I'm like, These Is Ameros.
You're angry, bro. It's like, relax, bro. We're just talking about this podcast,
get off
bro.
Of this shit.
You're like, stop. I am not talking about this. It's like, relax, my nigga. Shit. All right, I'm done with the podcast too, bro. Shit. Have some water. Fuck. Shit. That indica joint was nice. We're just fighting in here.
Yeah, no.
We should have smoked a sativa. It's like a bumbleweed cartoon fight with a fucking circle of dust.
Oh man, do you know what material you're gonna do tonight?
Nah.
How do you do you prep a set for a show, or do you figure out?
No,
what
I just
you're
show
gonna do
up.
at the show?
I show up, and anytime I sit down to write, I write on the Google Keep, which is just like little cue cards. So I just open that up and see what I've been working on recently or what's hot.
Google
and just
Keep?
Google Keep is the best, bro.
Interesting. I just
it's fucking best. Yeah, but Google Keep on the website and on your phone looks exactly the same. It updates perfectly, and it's Google. At the end of the day, if you want to trust someone, let's trust. Google's gonna be the death of us.
Yeah,
in the sense of like their software working correctly over and over.
Oh, that's fair.
Who else are you gonna Google, bro?
No, that's very fair.
Yeah. You're like, trust, like, relax, my nigga. This nigga read this
trust-
Illuminati shit too
Yo,
recently,
bro,
bro.
I'm not-
Trust Google? No,
Yo, I've been
relax,
getting
bro.
a lot more
No
militant on
Google
stage,
or
yeah,
white
like-
girl podcast. Now I know the topics to
a lot
avoid,
more
bro.
militant on stage. Like I've even been calling myself out on.
I saw you, bro.
Last night I'm like I have to scale this back. It was like I started like going on a tangent. I'm like this could go another way.
When I walked in, there was he was accepting 3 packages just full of camo. I was like, what the fuck? This nigga is militant. This nigga is hiding. Like, what is it, tense?
But you know that what was that Patrice joke where he's like, you'll never hear me on stage trying to unite people, like publicly, because anybody who tried to do that shit got smoked.
Oh, facts.
So I'm not trying to be like, you know.
Yeah,
fucking-
that's hilarious.
I'm just trying to say some funny shit that makes you think, but at the same time, not like, you know.
I'm not trying to unite.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Although I am, but I'm not. You know?
Yeah, that's actually hilarious.
I'm
That's
not openly trying to unite. I'm just trying to
man, Patrice is fucking
show people
sick.
through jokes that, you know, things are a little more, there's more commonalities than not.
Commonalities.
My brother. There's
Anytime I hear a word that ends with
commonalities.
ality, morality, fatality, criminality, you know, persecutionality is probably a word.
I want to cover something media related. There's so many things that we both watch Batman, but I feel like we're both kind of meh.
Yeah, I watched it like 3 weeks ago.
out of 10,
I
what
don't
would you
care
give
about it.
Out of 10.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
7.5.
That's even more generous to me. I give it like a 6.
Yeah.
Like even
I didn't hate it. I just thought that it could have lost 40 minutes. For number one, you didn't need to be 3 hours, and don't get cocky like that. Movies these days are getting too cocky with how long they're getting.
Well, because I think it's a prestige thing, right? Like you haven't had a Batman movie in so long. It's like you gotta.
I get it, but it's like 3
That movie
hours.
did not
Come
need to
on,
be
what's
3
this-
hours. Although I will tell
We know
you
the rules. We only allow King Kong and like a couple others.
No,
to
you know
be
what's
3
funny
hours.
is that movie actually kind of felt rushed. Still, even though it was 3 hours, I'm like, how did you somehow manage to? Like it didn't feel like fully like the story, like the end of the movie kind of just felt rushed.
What's the guy's name again? Batman or sorry? What's actually he was already a vampire, right? He loves
He's
this
the guy
world.
He's the guy from Twilight, but
He
hates
loves
those
his
movies.
yeah. He's
He even
motherfuckers
said
getting
himself,
paid.
those are just a paycheck. Like he hates those movies.
But
He's a good actor, bro.
yeah. Oh, I have no
Robert
problem with
Pattinson.
him. Yeah, I have no
That's
problem with
that
him. And
nigga, I
people
guess.
actually like him more than the Christian Bale because they said the Christian Bale was. I'm more of a fan of Christian Bale as an actor, but I
As a
agree with
Batman?
people when they were like Christian Bale was a good Bruce Wayne. He wasn't that good of a Batman. He was a good Bruce Wayne. Yeah, exactly. You know,
Tell me.
like Bruce Wayne with Michael Caine.
Yeah.
That combo seems way more like that's what I want it to be than this was. But the Batman was cool too. Like
It'll
on
be
the Batman
interesting to see
side.
where he goes as Bruce in the next, because they're doing a trilogy.
Yo,
obviously.
he's set up for this shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Um,
Yeah, I
all
just
right,
I
so
don't
you
know.
gave it a solid. Yeah, it was okay.
He was so big in the suit, and then he was so like small and like just the other scenes. It's like,
It's really,
how much padding is there, bro?
I'm
Like
kind of done with.
at least
superhero
Christian Bale got fucking jacked as shit for the scene, you know? Just
Right
it was like,
after
oh, okay, he's
was
filling
in
it
The
out.
Pianist, remember that movie? Where
Yeah, he
went,
just
rail
lost
thin?
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, he looked like he did cocaine, like just regularly to.
He loves weight fluctuation.
It was really odd. 'Cause
Yeah.
he did go from like a toothpick to.
That was The Machinist.
That's
The Pianist was a great movie though.
That's a different.
That was
guy.
Roman
That's
Polanski.
That's
That was
Brody or something.
yeah, that was a goddamn good movie.
Isn't
What you think
Polanski
about?
a rapist or some shit? Pedophile or something?
Yeah,
Allegedly,
something
I
like
guess.
that.
I think he.
But
actually
who
got
isn't, bro?
convicted, and then he
Alexander
just
Wang.
flew out.
Alexander Wang was.
We're talking
All
about
the
Hollywood.
yeah, Michael Jackson. Come on, bro. Like we're talking about
You
some
believe Michael
alumni.
Jackson touched those kids?
Well, he got chemically castrated at 12, which in my mind means it locked you in emotionally. So whatever he did to those kids, I don't think he's like fucking
So wait,
beating
is
them,
that
but he may have.
confirmed? Because
I don't
I
know.
also
I don't know. I don't know.
I bring
The
that
nigga's
up,
dead.
but I don't know for sure if that was actually confirmed that he was castrated. But it would make a lot of sense.
To think that this is Michael Jackson's in his grave right now. Just like, fuck, I thought they would have been talking about Thriller right now. They're like, was it confirmed he was
That he was
chemically castrated? Or is it just hearsay? That's the name of this whole episode. Was it confirmed?
Was it confirmed? That's a good title.
Yeah.
We need confirmation.
And the breaking news look
confirmation.
and speed signs and shit. Man, don't you ever just look at YouTube? There's such an art and a whole world of creativity to just YouTube thumbnails.
I love that.
I'll go
shit.
on the
I actually really love
the
your thumbnails.
trending
I
and the
love your
home.
thumbnails.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'll actually just go on the trending or home of all of the videos on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't even care about any of the videos. I'm just scanning thumbnails. And it's like, The people that commit their time on YouTube, it's clear in the fucking thumbnail. They don't fuck around with a weak thumbnail.
Yeah, I know.
Like you never see someone with an amazing thumbnail and like they don't have a following. You always have a following if they have a good thumbnail. Like it's like one for one. It's like a language you have to learn, and you fucking get good at that shit. But I just look at that shit,
I know
bro.
It kind of bleeds over into like that content creator mindset, but I don't actually. I think that's what they've.
But I'm a creative person.
Wait, let me get this out. I think that's what they pushed it towards. We keep talking over each other on this one. This is
I'll give you a beat for this.
We shouldn't have gotten that high before this one. Your episode,
Indica.
If you want a good episode between us two, this was good. But like, go listen to his podcast.
Imagine that all the analytics drop off right when you said that. You're editing. Fuck! I shouldn't have said that.
We're wrapping up anyway.
I shouldn't have said that.
I forget what I was even about to say right there. What were we just on? What tangent?
No, but you were about to go. You were ready. You pushed the mic. You told me. You warned me, bro.
Fuck.
You warned me.
Man.
Yo, if we could just, if that's what I want a producer for. That's the main reason I want a producer on my show. Is somebody to just be like, bro, what was it? Who's not high? That's
why I have this shit. But also, I barely went.
But that shit wasn't on that shit.
Yeah,
though. That was freestyle. That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't get that back. If we pause it, we can't go. It's gone. It's gone.
Let's just do the theme and get out of here. We got to go to this show anyways, so this is a good time to wrap up. Every episode, have a custom theme that's done by Hendawg. Shout outs to Hendawg. We'll put all his information at the bottom of the screen right now. You know what I'm saying? We just go over the things that we talked about. Any specific lines, anything that you want to get in on the theme that represents you, Abbas Wahab, as a person or a comedian. So I'll start it off. We always got to do the producer tag. You like Dragon Ball Z, right? We were talking about this yesterday. So I'll do like a Dragon Ball, but like that. So his tag is Hey, it's Hendawg. So I'll have to like Hey, it's Hendawg. It sounds like shit right now, but it'll be
you've done this before. Where you're like, it sounds bad now. It's like, no, bro, I know exactly what you're going for, and it's gonna be great. I hear the tracks every time.
This nigga's a genius.
Yeah. He's doing all the heavy lifting, bro. 100%. It doesn't matter. He's putting a beat over what I'm saying right now. This is all on a beat, beat. Every word that I say on a motherfucking beat by the boy, whatever his name is. I don't know. That's it. That's cut. That's all it takes.
I love that, whatever his name is. Yeah. Yo, Hendawg, man. Shout outs to you.
Shout out to Hendawg, bro.
What the fuck did we talk about? We talked about a bunch of shit. Comedy, coming up in comedy and stuff.
Open mics and shit.
Fucking open mic, bro. Although you need that shit. That sounded like that was a weird statement for me to make.
You know what? I remember, bro. I remember.
I hated open mics.
But I remember waiting in those like 2-hour things. You know it's gonna be at least 2 hours. But I remember thinking you gotta pay your dues. And now I'm saying, I paid those dues.
Yeah, like I feel
like I'm still going to open mics. But if you tell me it's a 3-hour wait, I'm like, okay, bye. I'm going home. I'm not even going to another set.
You know the value of your life outside of comedy.
Exactly. I'm going home, bro. I might watch a movie at home. I'm not waiting at this open mic for 3 hours.
Look into the camera and tell people what's going on in your life.
Yo, just check out the Immigrant Section, all right? I hate that I do this hand thing, but this thing was high up, and I want to feel all this face right here. Yo, oh, fuck. Okay, good thing it was at the end of the episode. Yo, Immigrant Section podcast show everywhere. Come check us out on tour, abbaswahab.com for the tickets.
Yeah, you got a tour.
That's it.
Yo, plug that shit.
That's it. I just did. abbaswahab.com for tickets. If you're in Southwestern Ontario, we're coming to fucking Windsor, Waterloo, London, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal.
There you go. And where are you on Instagram?
Abbas Wahab. ABBASWHAB.
As always, I am aka Black Zeus on all social media. You can follow me. We are back every Wednesday on iTunes, Google, Spotify, all that good shit. YouTube also, you know what I mean? Please hit that subscribe.
Hit it.
Comment. Leave a comment. We always reply to the comments.
Engage, please.
Y'all, my people engage in the DMs, bro. I'm trying to get these guys in the open
know.
so that other people know. It was like,
wait, if
people, other people know.
This is the final moment of the whole show. If people need to know anything, is that if you liked or fuck with someone, hit a like, just fucking comment the space bar and an asterisk. You know what I mean? Like,
good show.
All of that shows the platforms, whoever it is, like, yo, people are clicking and doing shit with this guy. Show it to more people. They'll click and do and watch our ads.
Blessed. All right. So on that, you can stay right where you are. But on that, that's...
Oh, I'm leaving.
This is reminiscent to...
Hey, it's Hendawg. This is all on a beat, beat. Every word that I
say on a motherfucking beat by the boy, whatever his name is.
You gotta pay your dues. And now I'm saying, oh, I paid those dues. Click and do and watch our ads. Click and do and watch our ads. Click and do and watch our ads. Click and do and watch our ads.